Ayurveda is just not a massage, it's like a way of life.
My vision is that if you close your eyes, you should be surprised that you were talking to an algorithm.
Hello and welcome to Qatar 365. I'm Laila Humaira, and on this episode, we do a pulse check on how well Qatar is spurring innovation in its healthcare system. And the diagnosis is positive. So far, more than $6 billion has been injected into the industry. And that includes supporting startups that are tapping into the latest technology to make healthcare more accessible to all. I got to meet one company that's changing the way we receive medical attention. This is Aave, an all-in-one healthcare application. Incubated at the Qatar Science and Technology Park, the app was launched by a Qatari startup in 2017. Today, it's used by more than 1.2 million people in 175 countries. Powered by artificial intelligence, Aave has a self-diagnose function, connects users to doctors all over the world, and is also an online pharmacist.
Aave is about providing any patient with a tailored health journey. So you feel unwell, you can present your complaint to Aave. Based on that complaint, Aave forms a medical hypothesis. Based on that hypothesis, Aave starts conversing with you for around 2 minutes, more or less on average, before he provides you with a differential diagnosis.
It means that as long as a person has a smartphone, if they're not feeling well, they can get access to medical guidance without ever having to step out of the house. Some would say Aave is eliminating the need for physical clinics, but the company says it's revolutionizing healthcare with just a few swipes.
Aave can match your case with the most suitable doctor for the case and make the connection between you as a patient and the doctor. Prescribe medicine to you. It's the full journey from A to Z.
Aave is just one of many success stories to come out of QSTP's Innovation and Incubation Program. The organization has helped put many ideas and products to market by supporting startups and young entrepreneurs.
Starting from the idea formation to establishing their companies, to building their product, all the way to commercializing and scaling up. For that, we put together several programs, starting with the incubation to establish your company, the accelerator to support you in your capacity building and your mentoring requirements, and finally a venture capital fund to support your financial needs.
From Aave's beginnings as a startup to now being one of the key member companies under QSTP, the partnership continues, and the next step is further scaling up its business.
We've been training since last summer a language model that allows people to express their complaints about their health naturally to Aave. So the idea is that you can say, hey Aave, I am having a headache today, can you tell me why? Speech. Aave is going to translate that speech into text. Then Aave is going to do semantic analysis on the text, predict certain symptoms out of that text, and then feed that to the AI diagnostic model.
And when Aave rolls out these new functions, a world where artificial intelligence and healthcare merges into a seamless service is far closer than we think.
My vision is that if you close your eyes and talk to Aave, and then by the end of the session you open your eyes, you should be surprised that you were talking to an algorithm.
Now let's take a deep dive all the way down to our cells. So much of who we are lies in the makeup of our DNA. Can some diseases be prevented just by learning more about our genetics and how we came to be? Well, I've come here to Sidra Medicine to meet Dr. Sarah Tomei, who heads the Omics Core Research Lab, to find out more about genetics research. Dr. Tomei, thank you so much for having us today in your lab. The study of human DNA is so important to understanding and ultimately diagnosing human diseases. Knowing this, Qatar and Sidra Medicine have invested so much in this field. How has this investment impacted your work?
So the last couple of decades, I've seen a rapid increase of diversity and in the number of genomic technologies. In 2003, the first draft of the Human Genome was released with the completion of the Human Genome Project. This initial draft was, however, only nearly complete, accounting for about 92% of the human genome, but 8% of the human genome was at that time not available. However, with the improvement in the technologies, a lot of other platforms came on the market, including the long-read sequencing platform. Those are the platforms we have available at CIDRA. So this means that we now know the complete sequence of the human genome. We know the exact sequence of the 3 billion base pairs across 23 chromosomes of the human genome. So the human genome is now gapless. And this is very valuable because this information can also help understanding how human genomes vary and also to understand how the newly discovered variants influence health and diseases.
You're also involved in a collaboration with the archaeological team at Qatar Museums. Can you tell us more about this initiative and what you hope to achieve?
This project aims at providing a better understanding of the prehistoric society living in Qatar. So the Middle East and Qatar lie at the crossroads of the old world, where Africa, Europe, and Asia meet. Due to this geographical location, Middle East and Qatar has played a central role in human evolution, being the passageway for migration between Africa and Asia. What we aim in this project is to fill this knowledge gap and to provide more information about the prehistoric society that were living in these regions and also to infer evolutionary processes of human.
Now, Dr. Toumé, you work with a lot of high-tech equipment in this lab. Do you mind showing us around?
Yeah, sure, let's go. So one of the technology I'm going to show you here now is called BioNano and provides optical genome mapping. The instruments we have in place is called Sapphire, and this is what you see here. And this technology is quite useful to detect large structural variations that are missed by other sequencing technologies. Now, large structural variations are responsible for many diseases, including developmental disorders and cancer. So it is very important that we identify and detect large genomic variations, structural variations. The nanochannel are structures included in the Sapphire chip that allow the linearization of DNA molecules. And this is important because when we run the DNA, we can actually see single DNA molecules. And this is what I'm going to show you now. So what you see here, in fact, are single molecules of DNA. Those are not sequences, where the backbones is stained in blue with an intercalating dye, and the green dots are the label. This might be indicative of structural variation.
Now, startups aren't the only ones changing the face of modern medicine. Qatar has seen a rise in demand and use of complementary and alternative therapies. More people are supplementing with holistic treatments to work alongside traditional medicines. Humaira Chaudhry has been looking at some of those alternatives.
Let's look at your posture today. Can you stand up right in front of the mirror? And I'm going to compare, see your shoulders.
If you regularly work out, sit at a desk, enjoy watching films or drive, you may benefit from chiropractic treatment.
Can you come turn around, sit down here, please, facing the mirror?
Baba Rahil is a personal trainer and works out regularly. He hadn't seen a chiropractor before, and despite his initial reservations, he said the treatment itself isn't painful.
After my initial appointment with Dr. Majdi, I saw a great difference in my balance. My shoulders were a lot more balanced, and then when I went to train that week, I felt there was no discomfort in my shoulder at all. So there was a huge difference just after my first appointment.
Chiropractic treatments are popular alternatives to traditional medicine, and it's said they have few, if any, side effects. Manually manipulating bone alignment has proven to reduce symptoms and ease chronic pain.
Complementary and alternative medicine is becoming more prominent around the world, particularly in the Gulf region. Dr. Majdi Abudaya has been treating patients for more than 15 years. He decided to become a chiropractor after being successfully treated for recurring neck pain.
Once I received my first chiropractic adjustment for my neck, I can't recall since then, and maybe I got sore throat 3 or 4 times in my life. So that was enough evidence for me about the scientific part of chiropractic, and I decided to be a doctor of chiropractic then.
As well as adjusting the spine, chiropractic treatments are beneficial for a number of health conditions and injuries. But Dr. Majdi warns, before making an appointment, it's important to find a registered specialist.
6 hours of training does not qualify you to be a doctor of chiropractic. So do your due diligence. Make sure you know the person who's going to provide you the adjustment. That's very important. Then your expectation is, don't expect a treatment on your first visit.
Another popular alternative treatment to traditional medicine is the ancient Indian holistic approach known as Ayurveda. The Remedy Centre in Duhail is the country's first government-approved facility, and Rashmi Vijay Kumar is the first doctor to be licensed in Qatar.
We have treatments for many different types of health issues, and all these health issues can be dealt in a natural and holistic way, and take off the root cause of the problem. We take it out of the body rather than suppressing it.
The therapists at Remedy are trained in Kerala, while the medicines and equipment are imported from around India for an authentic traditional experience. But it's not all candles and oils.
Ayurveda is just not a massage or something that makes you feel good. It's really not a spa treatment. It's very, very, there is more to it. It's like a way of life.
Bridging the gap between traditional and complementary medicine, Ayurvedic and chiropractic therapies are designed to help relieve pain and balance the body. The perfect antidote for active lifestyles.
From creating a thriving startup ecosystem to being at the forefront of genetics research, Qatar is always looking to pump fresh ideas into a rapidly changing healthcare industry. And that's all the time we have on this episode. For more, check out yournews.com and connect with us through our hashtag. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Qatar 365.